Hello everyone, Chief Weather Forecaster Becky Webb here. Today we are going to be talking about the air quality index because of how poor it's supposed to be with the smoke making its way from Canada. We'll look at that latest futurecast there, exclusive futurecast, in just a moment. Also look at the National Hurricane Center's latest updates and also the Storm Prediction Center's severe weather outlook, as severe weather is expected to ramp up throughout the next couple of days. And not just that, temperatures are expected to cool down. Let's go ahead and get started with it. So I know many of you guys are wanting to travel throughout much of the United States today or much of this week. Let's go ahead here and take a look at the latest air quality forecast here. Out of all locally here, the positive news we have is that it's not going to be too significant at all whatsoever. Again, again here, so that's the positive news we have for that. But as we continue through here, if you're heading towards portions of Pennsylvania, portions of Canada for that matter, if you continue through here, you can see how bad it continues. Thanks to that low pressure system up here in the top, we can see out of all, it's going to push much of that air quality down through much of the southeastern United States, continuing to make its way through, making air quality relatively bad. But again, it's not going to be as significant as up here towards places like Wisconsin, over there towards Toronto, up towards Maine and Vermont. So again, the positive news we have with this one is at least the air quality is not going to be too significant at all whatsoever. But again, we can see still a lot of the fires that will continue to burn. If it's continuing to burn by Wednesday of next week, you can see thanks to that strong winds, a low pressure system up here towards Canada, it's pushing all the wind, all the smoke down here towards portions of the southeast. So again, portions of East Tennessee will start to get poor air quality. So we zoom back here just a little bit more. We can see out of all starts to get relatively worse. This is about Monday morning around 4 o'clock in the morning. We can see out of all it still continues. Again, portions towards Virginia still out of all getting the worst part. But if we continue to scroll through, we can still see places like the western North Carolina mountains, upstate South Carolina is not relatively too concerning. But again, just remaining, we'll continue to watch here, see what the low pressure system decides to do. But again, we can see that much of the fires will start to push its way down yet again towards the early morning of Thursday. So we're curious to see how bad the air quality is going to get. Now let's talk about the Storm Prediction Center's outlook. The Storm Prediction Center has placed much of the entirety of the viewing area under a marginal risk, which is the level 1 out of 5 for severe weather through much of today. Let's go ahead here and look at the latest hazards that are associated with this threat. So if we look at the severe weather outlook, severe wind outlook through much of tomorrow, we are looking at a threat for winds of 55 to 65 miles per hour with any thunderstorm that does develop. So again, an out of all concern throughout much of today into the overnight hours tonight. This is mainly during the afternoon and evening hours. We'll look at that GFS model, see when the latest timing is, and the next chance of moderate to very heavy rainfall. But sadly, this is not the only threat that we're watching for severe weather. Let's go ahead here and look at tomorrow's severe weather outlook. So tomorrow's severe weather outlook is out of all more concerning here. We're looking at towards the Piedmont area of North Carolina. There's a slight risk, which is a level 2 out of 5 for severe weather. The main threats includes wind to 55 to 65 miles per hour, even upwards of 70 miles per hour, and hail up to penny and possibly quarter size. The rest of the viewing area remains under a marginal risk, which is a level 1 out of 5 for severe weather. Threats includes wind to 55 to 65 miles per hour with any thunderstorm that does develop, and hail up to penny size. So again, we'll continue to watch it here. The slight risk, if you noticed before a couple days ago, the slight risk was in effect through much of the central portion of South Carolina all the way into the central portion of North Carolina. But the Storm Prediction Center saw that the threat is not going to be too significant there towards the central portion of South Carolina. So they reduced it there towards Rock Hill and Charlotte and much of those regions into the Piedmont area of North Carolina. Looking at the 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook, we can see much of our viewing area is expected to get above average precipitation. Headed over towards the northeastern United States, that's the same scenario all the way down from the northeast into portions of Florida. However, the places that got that considerable damaging flash flooding the last couple of days ago towards Texas, they're expected to get below average precipitation. Much of the country, however, is expected to get about average precipitation forecasted through the next 8 to 14 days, but places towards Idaho, Montana, all of Wyoming, from Arizona all the way up to Montana, portions of North and South Dakota included as well, expected to get above average precipitation. Now we shift to the tropical weather outlook. We are monitoring a system or the disturbance in the Gulf that is expected to make its way over portions of Florida and to off the coast of the Carolinas and the southeastern coastline towards the Atlantic Ocean over the next couple of days. Has about 15% chance of development here at this time. So the positive news we have with this is it doesn't look like this is going to be the next named storm. It most likely will not become Bertha at this time, but we'll continue to monitor it here. It will increase the threat for localized strong and severe thunderstorms and very heavy rainfall within a thunderstorm that does develop. Let's go ahead here and look at the latest precipitation outlook throughout the next 3 days. Looking at the total precipitation throughout the next 3 days, we can see out of all 1 to 2 inches of rainfall appearing to be possible through much of the western North Carolina mountains. Same scenario for the central portion of South Carolina, Piedmont area of North Carolina mountains, North Carolina, expected to get rainfall totals of about 1 to 2 inches remaining possible. So again, nothing too concerning throughout the next 3 days. No flooding threat. So again, it's the positive news with this one. Let's go ahead here and look at the latest heat index throughout the next 24 hours. Heat index values will remain relatively hot still. We're talking about 94 in Asheville, 103 down there towards Greenville, Smyrna, Columbia sitting at 105 degrees, 105 degrees in Charlotte, 102 in Hickory, 103 in Knoxville, and 94 in Gatlinburg. Positive news with this one is we're going to have some shower and thunderstorm activity in the front push its way through. It's expected to drop those temperatures significantly. Positive news with that. But again, since we're in summer, since we're in the middle of July coming up towards August, those temperatures will start to warm up yet again. So let's go ahead here and look at the latest GFS model run, where we can see out of all some moderate to very heavy rainfall appearing to be possible here through much of this region here for much of this is last week. So let's go ahead here. Let's zoom this through just a little bit more. Towards Saturday, we're going to see shower and thunderstorm activity ramp up. We can see moderate to very heavy rainfall appearing to be possible towards 8 p.m. around Saturday. Heavy rainfall there towards portions of Virginia as well. As we continue to scroll its way its way through, we can see out of all the disturbance here towards the Gulf will continue to make its way over central Florida before making its way into the southeastern portion of the Atlantic Ocean. So let's go ahead here and continue to scroll through here. Still, everyday shower and thunderstorm activity will be possible to help out drought significantly. So again, positive news with this. More heavy rainfall is forecasted towards our coastline areas towards Thursday afternoon, Thursday morning. So really want to watch out for that if you're headed towards the beaches through much of this upcoming week here. We can see out of all still moderate to very heavy rainfall will continue. More widespread rain for portions of Saturday through much of the western North Carolina mountains, East Tennessee region. Some heavy rainfall possible at times and some scattered thunderstorms still continuing. And again, another round will continue. The main concern is towards Monday, July 27th for that matter. Looking at widespread moderate to very heavy rainfall appearing to be possible. But again, nothing too concerning here. We'll continue to watch, continue to see what it decides to do during the next couple of days. Again, rain will continue all the way through Tuesday there. Non-stop, more heavy rainfall through Tuesday will increase a little bit more of a flooding threat. More rain a little bit again on Wednesday into July 29th. As we continue, even more rain into the overnight hours on Wednesday night, and more rain yet again on Thursday. So again, this front that we're continuing to see here that'll bring this moderate to very heavy rainfall. As we can see, rainfall still continuing through much of Wednesday into Thursday. As soon as this pushes its way out, the temperatures will drop. We're talking about lower 80s in the western North Carolina mountains, mid to lower 80s there towards the upstate and central portion of South Carolina. So again, temperatures will cool down after this front moves its way through, bringing that moderate to very heavy rainfall. But again, the positive news with this one is those cooler temperatures that are forecasted. I'm Chief Weather Forecaster Becker Webb. Thank you so much here for tuning in. Again, with this video, we touched on the air quality index throughout the next couple of days thanks to that Canadian wildfires that are currently burning. We also talked about the chances for some moderate to very heavy rainfall for portions of next week, the chances of shower and thunderstorm activities non-stop throughout the next 3 days or so. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell so you know whenever we post an update next. Again, while you're on our YouTube channel for that matter, check out our 24/7 live monitoring system here, giving you the latest weather information, latest forecast, latest radar, as well as weather alerts 24/7 nonstop. You don't want to miss that, and you definitely want to check that out. Also, for businesses who are watching this right here and want to promote their business, if you notice on the top right of the screen during these broadcasts, there was an advertisement slot. So we are allowing advertisements towards the top right of the screen to allow to put your business on multiple people, tons of people watching this, over 300 people towards 1,000. You can watch it as well, and that will be a good way to sponsor. All right, everyone, I'm Chief Weather Forecaster Becky Webb. Thank you so much, Chief, for tuning in. Again, comment, like, and subscribe. I'll be back again for another update for portions of our Sunday, maybe even on the Monday, but keep it tuned. The YouTube Shorts with the latest short video update is coming up very soon.